Okay, so we have our first top tip, and this is going to be setting up your go-to posture. Now, what I mean by that is setting up a position that you're going to be using most of the time. Now, this is mainly for people who are working at desks, so we're going to show you this desk setup, but you can apply the principles wherever you're working. Now, first thing I'm going to do is actually take myself away from the desk, okay? I'm going to find out what my preferred and most relaxed position is going to be, and then I'm going to see where it fits up to the desk. So taking yourself away from the desk, you almost just want to be sitting up nice and tall, chest high. Your head is going to be looking straight forwards with the chin in a relaxed position. You don't want it too far forwards, but you don't want to have to overly straighten up. That's just going to take a bit too much effort. Shoulders want to be nice and relaxed here, and elbows at about 90 degrees. We're just going to have a look at the computer setup first. So if I take myself into this position, the desk height is about right for me. But if I'm looking straight forwards, the height of the screen, we want to be matching that up to eye height. So ideally, we want this a little bit higher. So I've got a sit to stand desk in clinic, so I could just take that up, okay? Downside of that is then my elbows are going to be raised up. I'm going to be leaning forwards to get onto the keypad here. So in those situations, you might just have to be raising the chair a little bit as well, up or down depending on what it is. Now, most people don't have the electronic ones, so this is just a cheap bit of kit that I got from IKEA, just a simple stand just to raise it up, but it's still not high enough. We can just add in a book, and that will raise the height of the screen, and now I've got my elbows at 90 degrees, and we've got the top of the screen at eye height as well. And I'm just going to raise the monitor or tilt it a little bit just there. Now this is a pretty good position for me, where even if I'm not paying attention, especially if you get drawn into a project as well, you don't want to be thinking all the time about having to correct your posture. So those are the key principles to follow for setting things up as well. Now regarding the laptop, it's just going to be a bit of a trade-off. You want it in the most comfortable position that we can have, okay? The screen is always going to be a little bit lower. A modification that you could perhaps make is raising the laptop up but having a separate keyboard. That would be a cheap way of just getting a similar sort of setup as well, where you could have the laptop screen higher, just put it on a few books or something, and then having the keyboard a little bit lower. But let's just assume you're working from the laptop here. You just want to make sure that you aren't creeping in and getting drawn forwards with this as well. Just set yourself up into this taller position, modify this screen, just so you can look forwards more comfortably. We don't want the neck having to go down. We want to try and do it with our eyes as much as we can. So it's sitting up tall, and I just want to see, right there is probably not too bad at all for looking at this. My neck hasn't gone down that far. I'm mainly just looking down with my eyes. And again, the first rule I can definitely apply to with the elbows at 90 degrees as well. So those are just some simple tips, whether you're working from a laptop or a desktop, just for having some sustainable changes going forwards as well.